Gaming, they are currently sitting in 4th position. They are 1-1 with a 3-3 map count. They were able to beat Invictus Gaming 2-1, and then they ended up losing their series versus Asta last night. But already, I mean, we saw yesterday in that last series for Sparking Arrow, there was a lot of emphasis on the IO Venge. We saw that, we saw 2 games in a row where Sparking Arrow went IO Venge. Full team fight that they've got at the moment with the Supernova and the Doom coming. It's going to be nice. If this is a leaner core, then you can pretty much just make her completely irrelevant throughout some of the fights with the big ulti coming out. And they've also got the flexibility if they want to give the Doom over to XM, or they can play it in the off lane and give it to Chalice and Sparking Arrow. They're even going to pick up a Beastmaster as well. So I look at this opener from Sparking Arrow. 2 heroes that have very high attack speed. The Beastmaster is going to be able to amplify that as well with the Inner Beast. So I'm intrigued about this pickup here from them. This is it's already showing me that they have a very good way to deal with the Supernova, and we're seeing a lot of teams have at least one aura hero or someone who's at least able to buff up your cores. You know, we see the Slaughter, the Beastmaster, then as the supports we're seeing like the Ogre, the Io, the Venge, even a Mag as well for another core. So really seems like a lot of these teams, the moment the meta is being able to amplify one of your carries, farming potential and even that damage potential as the game goes on.
5 seconds remaining.
As soon as, with the Beastmaster getting picked up here, I would like for EHOME to potentially go for some position 5 that has some form of nuke. Like, you can put the Phoenix and the Doom in the lane together, but Phoenix can still be flexed as a 5 or a 4, but I think the big thing about the Beastmaster is you very much rely on your... You very much rely on your summons in the laning stage, and if you're versing a lane that has kind of 2 nukes that are able to bring down the boars very easily, then it can get rid of a lot of your threat with either finding kills, harassing, and even being able to find that extra CS just with the help of the board damage. So I guess Phoenix, thinking about it though, like the Fire Spirits couldn't be too bad because the attack speed's slow. Like Beastmaster's got no magical damage at all in the laning stage, so the Fire Spirits could be okay. It's gonna, I guess, negate a little bit of the damage, but it won't do it won't play the role like I am hoping them to draft, to be able to just get rid of the summons as especially for the lane for the Beastmaster here. But this is already as well, like the fact that you have Beastmaster is very good against some push, at least a lineup that is very reliant around their team fights with the Supernova, the Doom. These are 2 very big cooldowns, and the Beastmaster doesn't have this big cooldown. I mean, the ulti, yes, but you can really just melt through towers, and that is the one thing that I like about the Beastmaster also getting picked up here, is that naturally this hero thrives against a lineup that just has kind of this full team fight synergy. So you can't really play the early stage to be able to defend your towers. We always see like the Beastmaster versus like the Faceless Void just for the for that factor as well. So you got to keep that in mind as this one goes on. EHOME don't really have a Supernova protection though at the moment. They're already picking up the Doom, which, you know, more than likely is a 3, but the Mars was banned out, so you're not going to get like the Mars or the Faceless Void to protect the Phoenix. And Sparking Arrow actually go for a Void Spirit here, which I'm not a huge fan of the Void Spirit against the Doom. I think this is a hero that just completely is relying on all your abilities, and it's honestly not hard for Doom to get that ultimate out on the Void Spirit. Yes, the Phoenix doesn't have any lockdown to deal with you, but this is a very early Void Spirit pickup here. You know, and it could allow, and even this mid lane, I feel like Doom going versus Void Spirit is going to be pretty decent. They'll probably both trade farm if that Doom is mid. That, you know, that's the question. Of course, we don't exactly know on how they're going to try and set up the lanes here for EHOME, if they want Doom for XM or if they want it for Chalice. But
Enchantress.
That's nice. I really like that pick. So this is, there you go. There's your position 5 that can now deal with the Beastmaster summons in the lane. Huge fan of the Enchantress getting picked here. Doesn't give you control to help with the Void Spirit, but it's really for the lane to deal with the Beastmaster. So now it's showing that the Phoenix is a 4. Well, I guess you can still play the Phoenix as a 3 and then put Doom in the mid lane, but yeah, more than likely we'll see the Phoenix on the 4, the Doom on the 3, and now you can have a position 5 who's going to be able to deal with the Beastmaster. Which is something they definitely needed. And we haven't really seen too much Enchantress though. Team Error, I know I've seen Solo play it a couple of times recently throughout that Epic League, but it's definitely been a hero who has kind of fallen off. But their laning stage is pretty strong as well. And we're going to actually see the IO. So this is something I honestly thought EHOME coming into it, they might just ban the Venge and the IO in the first phase, but you know, they still let it through. Now look at the attack speed. Again, we highlighted earlier, like there's Sparking Arrow are going for a lot of drafts where they have at least like 2 heroes where they can just amplify their position 1. And now you've got a boatload of sustain for the IO. They don't really have any burst potential. I mean, this Ven's going to be pretty good. You've got that AoE stun. It can help protect the Supernova as well, which is something they were kind of lacking with no AoE and no real kind of damage going into it to really kill someone while they're just hitting the Supernova. So I like this Ven pickup, and this is another hero that's also, I mean, you kill off the summons on the Beastmaster. You've got Warcry, so that damage early coming through from the physical isn't as important. Like, you're not too worried for the Zen. Very, very big fan of this pick, actually. And I feel like we've just, you know, there's still top 3 carry, I'd say, at the moment for this Ven. PA and Void's probably paired up with him at the moment as well. But what's the carry that Sparking Arrow want to go for here? I mean, a lot's gone already. You know, PA, Terrorblade, Lifestealer faces Void, Gyro's banned out. So you need this lane matchup with the IO. I mean, someone who, honestly, how does a Wraith... I've been really liking Wraith King lately. But this is just where you take a look, like EHOME kind of have these 2 big ultis with the Supernova Doom, and then Wraith King can really group up and join these fights if they want that push coming through, because you got the Beastmaster. That's a lot of sustain as well, just getting the aura. I'm trying to think of the matchup versus Van, but regardless, so EHOME, they're looking for probably their mid lane. You can Ember here. Is Ember banned? Ember's not banned. There's really not a lot of catch from Sparking Arrow at all.
Dire team pick.
And the Ember versus the IO is really, really good. Some burst potential. The chains makes it very difficult for the IO to play Dota. And against the Void Spirit matchup, it's great too. They're going to brew though. So what is this? It's going to be Doom mid, put the brew in the off lane. That's another way to deal with the summons. Controls up the IO throughout the fight, so that's a good way to just kind of negate the IO. This is a lineup where I really like this draft from EHOME. I will say that. Like, this is a really, really nice draft. And they're going to Morphling. Okay.
You may now select your heroes.
How do we feel about this? So Doom's going mid. We spoke about that flexibility potential. Chalice is going to pick up the Brewmaster here. We have seen Brewmaster once so far throughout the group stages. That was played by Red Panda for 4 AM. And he honestly had a incredible performance with the Brewmaster. In their position 4, they don't have the easiest way to get that Cinderbrew connection, but how are we feeling about the Morphling this game? I mean, you're against the Doom, which never feels great, but there's not a lot of stuns you have to worry about. I don't think Brew gives you any kill threat. Like, this should be a pretty good lane versus the Morphling. They've no stuns, no burst potential. I like the Morphling pick here for God King, and now it's going to give you a... He naturally has an immense amount of armor as well, so that Ven burst isn't going to feel too important. they've got a really good way to deal with the supernova as well. I mean, you take a look at it, like Sparking Arrow don't have this team fight. It's going to be more down to the fact if they can get pickoffs with the heroes they have. They've got pretty good setup as well for the IO. They're like really good setup. I've harped time and time again the past couple of days on IO requiring some form of initiation help from the team. He's definitely getting that this game. I mean, you take a look. You've got the Beastmaster.
Prepare for battle.
You've got the you got the Void Spirit as well, which is very good. That hero can just catch from anywhere. They literally have 3 heroes this game. Like even the Lina can kind of Lina probably won't. We don't really see Lina 4s pick up a Eul Scepter, but Lina still offers a little bit of catch potential. So now this relocate pick up, yeah, I really think like SAG can just play the map. I have not the greatest wave clear, but we'll see how this one's going to end up working. It is game 1, day 3 of the group stages here for the China Pro Cup Season 2. EHOME looking for their first victory. They haven't even won a game just yet.
30 seconds.
Get the deny. Okay, nice. What's the damage at the start? 80 compared to 70. Okay. The mana's not going to matter. What's the start? 3.1 gain. Okay. Well, Sentry Drop doesn't get that kill on the orbs. If anyone is unaware, the fact that as a position 5, you got nothing to do at the start of the lane. Like a lot of times, oh, well, it's going to get dewarded. A lot of the time,
begins.
I really don't like that ward, actually. That's a... Knowing that the Doom is mid, a lot of time people are going to block up this this high ground camp. I think I've seen it in every game that the Doom's been played mid so far throughout the group stages. That camp's been blocked by a sentry. And the fact that he puts an obs there, just in range of it as well. So, you know, who knows? Maybe like... It's still going to get the good usage out of it, though. Who's going to make that rotations early? Pretty much it's just going to be the Lina. So we'll see if that gets D-Ward. If it doesn't, then it gives the vision for the Doom with the wraparound, which is going to be pretty important, but early on. See how this bottom lane is going to end up faring. So we'll actually be a Lina as your position 5 here. This is going to be a very defensive lane for them at the start. Morphling is super weak, level 1, level 2. So they should have a pretty good time at being able to harass out. But once God King is able to get the levels, I think Morphling should be fine. No stuns, no real burst potential. We'll see how Lina's going to be able to harass. I mean, has 2 mangoes. Your right clicks are a lot better than the Phoenix as well. Not a lot better, I guess. Only 2 extra damage, so it's definitely not a lot better. But you've also got some pretty good attack range, and in with the LSA, finding that stun connection. So you already see this is they're both squishy, but this is the thing about the Phoenix that like even level 1 point in Fire Spirit really doesn't do a whole lot. But we'll take a look at the top lane. Flyby, he's actually gone for the Axes level 1. He doesn't have any regen, so interesting choice of going for the Axes level 1. But it's probably the factor of you're laning versus the Enchantress, so there feels like there's no real point of going for the boars. So I like at least the choice of switching that one up. It's going to be nice. It can help secure his range CS as well. But we'll take a look mid. XM up against Dstones. Dstones has been playing really well throughout the 2 days of the group stages that we've been seeing from him. Can he get that range deny? No, he can't. So the damage is there at the moment. I mean, Doom's got a damage advantage down bot. But the thing is about the Doom is that you've got a very bad attack animation, so it can make it pretty awkward to be able to secure the CS. But as this game goes on, I mean, Doom has got some very good targets to be able to chuck out the ulti. Void Spirit, someone who heavily relies on being able to utilize his abilities. The Morphling as well. I mean, if you're able to catch out before he gets like a Linken's or something, which is going to be a very good Linken's game. We don't really see a lot of Morphlings go that first item Lincolns anymore, though. It's super defensive and it doesn't really give you any stats to join in fights kind of at the mid game. And it doesn't really help your farm too much either here. But, you know, it could be the choice as the game goes on, because the big threat this game for God King is the Storm Hammer from Sven, the Doom ulti as well. But because we see a lot of offlane heroes just, not even offlane, I should say. We just see a lot of heroes building up the Lotus Orb when you're against the Sven, just because of the Superman Aghanim Stormhammer. They do ping as well that they blocked that camp. What did he get? Was it the Hellbear? Yeah, alright, he got the Hellbear Smasher. But still yet to find a kill so far, just hanging out throughout the laning stages, both teams. So, first game of the day from them. You're probably played a couple of warm-ups. Make sure they're not cold heading into it, but we do have the power runes coming up pretty shortly. As there's not actually going to be rotation from any of the supports, and if Dstones holds this haste until he gets level 6, he might be able to pressure out XM, but he does also have to be careful as well, because Doom's going to pick up his 6 at a pretty similar timing. Void Spirit does have 10 denies though over just the 1 on the Doom. There's there's a decent experience different at the moment. Maybe XM was able to secure a little bit more of his range creeps, but he's pretty tanky. He's got 1k HP, some stats with the Bracer. So what kill, where's First Blood do we think's going to come out? I mean, he's gone to 2-0-1, so Flyby's actually really, he's not going for the the ball. They're going to TP in Phoenix up top. Does have 2 points in the 5 Spirit, so this is a lot of damage that's going to come out. Flyby will attempt the TP. He will be successful, and he's not going to die inside the base as well, so beautifully done. And now that's going to allow Radiant to get all 4 bounties, because the Phoenix wasn't bought to be able to contest, and it was a little bit too late for them joining actually that top fight there. If he TP'd maybe like 5-10 seconds earlier, they can put pressure on and then go to the bounty rune afterwards. But yeah, 4 bounties for the boys over on SAG. That's a nice little start for them. But everyone's farming well. I mean, out of, you know, Beastmaster's the lowest out of all the cores at the moment, but you're still feeling pretty content. I'm intrigued to see how this build goes though. Like he's opting for the Meteor Hammer. Keep an eye on that one. But does XM want to make the rotation as well? Is he going to level up the Doom at 6, or is he just going to go 3-3? Sometimes we see the Doom just not even put a point up in the ulti, just because you might not be thinking about making the gank rotations, and then just having some extra points in Scorched Earth can help out with your farming speed. Though he does put a point up in it though, Dstones. There's the ulti. He's got the Scorched Earth up now as well, and with Fade helping out, here comes the rotations from Radiant. Can they get there in time? However, XCJ will hold back the Doom. Even September's going to come through just in case for the extra sustain required. So that's it. I mean, Doom without any stuns feels pretty awkward. And now they might actually go back on XM. Dstones has got a double damage rune. They're going to drag him back into the LSA as XCJ will be able to secure First Blood here for Sparking Arrow. Beautifully done from them. So First Blood occurring about 6:30 into the game, so it's really, really late. And now they got 3 heroes coming top. Is he actually backing off? He is. So how's the Morphling going? What's he got queued up? He does have Lincoln's actually queued up first. Okay. Oh, Flyby top. Could be in trouble here with the last shot impetus from xNova. Already got 2 points in it, so the damage incredibly high from this Enchantress. Might think about diving September, but he does have a creep wave there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're going to be able to put pressure on the tower though. It kind of forces the Void Spirit actually to TP top, but Dstones doesn't have too much mana. So this is now taking him away from mid. Let's see what he's missing. I guess Beastmaster is going to be able to occupy the lane and get the creeps that Void was missing out on here. So, and how's the stacking going in the jungle too? It's a double the medium, sorry, double the hard. None of the Ancients or anything like that. We'll probably just see... This is really the timing where we see this Sven kind of make the farming rotation from top all the way down to bot. He probably still doesn't feel pressure to get out of the lane as well. Like, Morphling's not going to TP top and make an aggressive movement, although xNova, once again with the drag back, Dstones really nicely played. He's actually got 3 points up in the Dissimulate instead of putting a couple more points in the Resonant Pulse. We are starting to see, though, more Void Spirits go for like a 1-4-4 build. Just the farming speed that you get with the Dissimulate and the Resonant Pulse. And a lot of the time, I mean, if you hit that Aether Remnant, then it's a guaranteed Dissimulate. It's very hard to dodge it as well. So a very nice early game coming out from Dstones. Does anyone want to take top? I mean, they don't have any real support that can play the dead lane. I guess Phoenix is okay. And we're going to see Phoenix actually TP up here. We're still actually going to be really careful because Dstones can commit for the Phoenix. If you want to dive hard, because you actually don't have a ward on the back line, so you're not really seeing where Dire are at the moment. Like, XM's playing off the map. You don't know where this Sven is, but more than likely, you know, Sccc is going to be farming up the jungle. But it looks like Radiant, they actually want to TP in. They do just get a slither of vision on the Lina and also the IO as well. So well aware of the extra rotations coming up to the top lane. But meanwhile, both carries are having a very good time just free farming up. Brew's looking about making that first rotation. Chalice has even gone for the Urn build. I mean, this is a great Spirit Vessel game. You're against a Morphling that's already pretty much countered by that Spirit Vessel. You're against an IO as well, which is going to be very much impacted by this. And you know, we've seen time and time again kind of the Brewmaster hasn't felt like he's been too comfortable in the meta for a while. But it's the factor of where I think what it was 33 who went for the build of like that Helm Don maxing out the Cinderbrew. And now we're seeing a couple of Brewmasters. I can't remember who the first person I was at least that saw the Brew go for the Urn. But it's just a really nice way to guarantee that tick of the Cinderbrew. And it's such a good Spirit Vessel game anyway as well. So
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We'll see if he's able to get that at a decent timing. It's the lowest net worth out of all the cores, but we're going to see both the position ones rotate to the enemy safe lane. Meanwhile, mid lane though, flyby, roll into the Meteor Hammer. This is not an easy kill as Dire. They're going to be able to rotate over. They've got all the ultimates and Dstones. He's got to be careful. But XM, about a third HP, doesn't want to chuck up the Doom because he wouldn't really be able to continue committing on top of Sparking Arrow. This is going to force them back. It allows the Morphling to just take that tier 1 tower top. And now even Sparking Arrow, it's a really fast, you know, they attempted that kill. And now having everyone here with the catapult timing, they're going to try and put some pressure on the tower. They do have to be careful because Dire, they're opting off for defense here. And they've got all their ultimates available as well. Really want to see Dire try and utilize them. That Brewmaster split, a lot of time we see him make that rotation down from, you know, the bot lane to the mid lane, get a pick off, and then try and put a decent amount of damage on top of the tier 1 tower. They are... What are they doing? Is this going to be a wraparound play?
Is under attack.
Looks like it is. I mean, jumping flyby... Oh, God. XM's just going to run forward. Yeah, that's not the easiest way. Now, meanwhile, down bot though, Sccc, he's in trouble. He's away from the rest of the team. And this is what I was speaking about at the start of the game, that Sparking Arrow have a very good lineup to be able to set up for that relocate +2 potential, or even +1 potential with the gank. And now they're even able to protect mid as well. They glyph it up, now they're going to run all the way over. Again, Dire have their ultimates, but they feel comfortable with sitting this aggressively in the mid lane in September. It's going to get found. He's got the tether to provide a little bit of distance here as EHOME, they don't feel too comfortable with diving under the tower as Radiant just being able to posture pretty defensively. I mean, you've already have that tower buff up, the IO sustain as well is going to make it pretty awkward, but they've got their ultimates and even Sccc is going to think about showing up to the mid lane, but this is a lot of time wasted as God King. Meanwhile, I mean, you got the kill on top of Sccc, and then the rest of Dire were just sitting mid trying to poke and prod on top of the tier 1 tower, but meanwhile, Morphling, he's just been free farming up in the jungle. You're pushed out bot. forces 3 rotations or 2 rotations for EHOME down bot. And now he's just able to TP up top to the triangle camp where September already is, so he can farm this up. And he's actually going to be going for an E-Blade as the first item here. So we'll give you a nice way to guarantee bursting down this Enchantress, even trying to burst down the Phoenix as well. And as the game goes on, I mean, that's just more agi, so more armor for the hero against the Sven. And even just the protection of potentially that ethereal form as well. We do see, though, once Sccc farms up the Ancients with that God Strength, like now he's back up next to the Morphling there. Even though God King does have the amplification and the ire, I mean, he doesn't have that cleave potential. A very slow start to game 1 here, but 13 minutes in, we got a very, very even game at that. Who's got the Royal Jelly on Radiant? They didn't give it to the Ire. I've seen a couple times teams are giving the Jelly out to the Ire there. Oh, actually, down bot. Who do they find? Once again, this Sven, but here comes the TP rotation. They need a burst down Sccc before Dire are able to TP in. They bring the numbers, but Sccc is already fallen, and now Radiant, can they disengage? Doom's going to go out on the Void Spirit. He's actually just going to run back forward and sacrifice his life to Ire. Did he get the relocate out, actually? Void. What? No way, September. What a god. Oh my lord, he's such a player. Chalice is going to end up finding the kill in XCJ, but this has been, we've seen like day after day now, this Ire's just been getting so many clutch saves with the relocate. The nick of time sends Dstones away from that aggression, and now Radiant, they're linking up to top. They know that, I mean, Dire only committed the Doom, so they can definitely defend this tower if they want to, but they know that Dire was stuck down bot because they all TP'd there. So this is going to allow them to get some pretty good chip damage. They might, chip damage might just be a tier 2 towers. God King, he's going to be careful. He doesn't get the strength ball fast enough, but it looks like God King won't get bursted down. They're trying to train to control him, but he's able to turn. Your Scepter gets him a little bit of protection. Supernova's going to end up popping, stunning up too. And now with the Sunray, God King just waveforms away, but they still have the vision to be able to bring him down. September will attempt the TP, but once again, Chalice with the Cyclone brings him down. Really nicely done from EHOME. They lose the tier 2 tower very early on in the game, so this is going to allow Sparking Arrow to be able to now take the outposts. That's the first big fight where we see the ultimates come through from EHOME as well. But Morph, he got stunned up from the Sven there and didn't attribute shift at the very start, so it brought him incredibly low. And then it felt like he couldn't really do much afterwards.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But I'd say Radiant feel pretty content with making something work now after. Like, you know, all their ultimates are on cooldown. You're not a lineup that's too reliant on your ultis at all, so... As we see, mid lane, Dstones is going to be able to find the Phoenix here. Fate, can he get the dive? XCJ just not able to get in range for the Laguna Blade, and I die. They want to punish this. Again, they don't have the greatest initiation, though. Chalice going for the Spirit Vessel first. I mean, it's an incredible game for the Spirit Vessel, but it just doesn't give them a way to really find that jump. And even Doom's not going for it as well. Looks like he wants the BKB is the first item. He's got the blink queued up afterwards. Top. xNova might just get melted here with the shotgun, yeah. Playing as a support against the Morphling never feels fun at all. And now they're probably going to smoke up and link where they want to go. They're going to smoke down bot instead. They don't have to link with the Ire, actually, because he can always relocate in. And Doom's like, no, we need a blink ASAP. I mean, it's kind of been showing this game with how they really haven't had a way to really initiate on top of the fights here. Oh, bro. Doesn't have the ult here. He's in trouble here. Dstones sets up with the Remnant. The Sunray won't be enough healing out. All of EHOME are going to show they're underneath the Hawk, so SAG have an immense amount of vision to be able to continue on the fight with the blink on the backline. Flyby is going to be able to find the Phoenix, and they bring down Fade before the Supernova. The Meteor Hammer is going to be able to chain lock him down, but Dstones is in trouble. He doesn't have any more abilities to be able to utilize to disengage. Now with the buyback as well, they're going to try and rejoin this fight as the Phoenix. Looks like it's going to be a couple dead from either team here. That is, what, a 3 for 2? As the Phoenix has to buy back there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So honestly, not badly done from Dire. I mean, well, The gold swing isn't too much. You get a kill on top of the Void Spirit. That's the first death of the game for Dstones. The big thing is that what? They didn't use Supernova. They didn't use Bruce Split either. This Raw into Meteor Hammer is pretty interesting. The chain lockdown is nuts. Just completely controlling up one hero through a majority of the fight. I mean, how long is it going to be? Maxed out 4 seconds, and I think it's 1.75 stun? Yeah, okay. They are smoking up. Who can they find though? Smoke's going to end up popping, and XCJ will be under pressure. Dstones wants to try and protect him, Brady, but the fight coming out. The Laguna Blade paired up with the Ethereal. They're going to be able to bring down the Doom, or will they though? XM moves incredibly fast now with the Cyclone as well. They won't be able to clap him as Dstones. He's getting chased down here, stunned up thanks to the Bruce Split. Really nicely done. That's an incredible fight. Another death here for your Void Spirit, who had a very good start to the game, but now 2 deaths in a row. It's about a 1,500 gold swing, as they just didn't have enough to be able to bring down the Doom. The stats that he has at the moment, 2,000 health to be exact. I mean, it almost worked out with the E-Blade Laguna. But unfortunately, he was able to just scurry himself away. Moves so fast as well. Drums, Scorched Earth. He's even got the Go Bow too. Are they thinking about Roshin? They're going to think about it. They might see the Io though. It's going to have the sustain coming out. September's even got a regen in the bottle as well. So they'll see XCJ. I mean, that's really obvious now. If Lena didn't come over, they probably just get that for free. Would have taken a while, but actually top lane. Phoenix going to get caught out here. Fade. He's got a TP. Dstones is hunting. They don't have a way to be able to cancel the Phoenix TP though. So he's just going to be able to Sunray up on the high. Going to make it away. Now Dire though. They're kind of split away from the team. They got to be careful. Sccc does have a fresh BKB picked up. Daytime just connects as well, but now with the high gun, Sccc is already taken about half damage. Now with the Brawl controlling through the BKB, God gains such physical damage, they're going to be able to bring him down. That's a 10-second BKB duration, all for naught, but off for the side, we are going to see XM finding the Void Spirit kill, but it looks like, can they continue on for more? Chalice still without the Bruce Split. Flyby is on top of the high ground here, and without the help of September, he's already popped that tether. What happened to Morphling? Whoa, Morphling just died. Hang on. How did Chalice die? I thought he had the heal from the IO. I'm almost like they doomed up XM. Oh no. Just the Spirit Vessel, yeah. It's so good against the Morphling. There's nothing they can do to heal him up.
Radiant's middle tower is
unfortunate. So that's a 3-for-1. I mean, Sccc doesn't get usage out of the 10-second BKB, but EHOME, they still come ahead of that engagement there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And we're really seeing the Void Spirit start to suffer. Like, this is all of a sudden, once Doom has this blink, these fights are going so much better for EHOME. Like, they are being able to initiate the fight on the correct target. And this is the thing about the Void. Like, you really, really suffer against someone who's be able to silence you and take you out of the fight. 16 seconds with no involvement, pretty much. And that's it. Like, Dstones has to play... I'm trying to see how Radiant can play this though, because you need to try and pressure when the ultis are on cooldown from Dire, but it feels like they aren't able to do that though. Like, they've tried for a while, and Dire, they're actually going to smoke themselves up so they can find with the connection here. 5,000 net worth lead though, 22 minutes into the game. It's going to be a haste rune. This is Lincoln's now completed for the Morphling, so he will be a lot safer though. They're finally going underneath an Observer. They're going to be careful. Sccc is going to show XM actually with the blink forward. They're going to try and be able to bring down September. Whoa, he actually gets the mech off. September will end up falling, but now with the middle lane, however, Enchantress, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Dire, they can continue chasing though. They've got their ultimates. Ire's going to force a buyback, but with percent damage, Flyby is going to end up falling. And now Dire, they can continue on forward. God King's going to try and wait for him, but they get rid of the Lincolns now with the stun follow through with the Supernova. They bring him down. Morphling committed to try and deal with Fade's ulti, but it just won't work off. That's a dieback for your IO. And EHOME, all cylinders clicking. even the Beastmaster buys back as well. Oh no. They instantly pop the Lincolns, get the Stormhammer stun, get the Supernova. We're just seeing, like, this Phoenix has been playing incredibly well. Multiple Supernovas been going off throughout these engagements. And now Dire are sitting pretty comfortable. They've got a 9,000 net worth lead. They had all their ultis to take that fight. So SAG, this is the thing about Radiant's lineup, is they've got a very pick-off heavy lineup and not kind of team fight into EHOME. But the fact that they're not getting pick-offs is why they're this far behind. They can't split out the map. But it looks like they've tried Roche before. They're finally going to go back in. Dire scan does connect, however, and they're going to be able to get the vision as well with the Frost Mage if he gets inside. Never mind. Dire, do they want to contest it? I don't even know if they care about Aegis, to be honest. I feel like you just killed whoever has Aegis a second time. Like, their team fight is so strong. And honestly, the Spirit Vessel this game for the Brewmaster has been just such a big factor. It's negating a lot of the IO. I mean, Sunray's maxed out as well, so what is it, 6.75% damage. Spirit Vessel as well, 4%. So against a lot of these heroes, just getting rid of that sustain factor that Sparking Arrow have is really paying big dividends here. It's allowed them to secure about a 9,000 to 10,000 net worth lead.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Void's gonna have to go defensive item now. Yeah, he's got the Lincolns queued up. Fly, they need a Lotus Orb as well. Flyby's going BKB. Like, his lowest out of all the cores hasn't really been able to gain too much of a foothold in this game one here. If they can somehow get a Lotus, then
Radiant's bottom tower
then at least some of these fights might go different.
Is under attack.
This is a lot of damage on the tier 2 though. Dire, they're going to try and blink forward. Spirit Vessel's out. September's actually just going to try and relocate him back away to safety. Cool. We're all out of there. Back inside the well. You just see, like, I mean, now Io's in trouble. Yeah, it looks like Raiden, they're all going to dip out. So this will be a free kill for Io. I should say free kill for Dire on the Io. And now just back up to split pushing. I mean, God King's BKB next item. What do we got coming through from Dire though, as we take a look? Chalice with the Essence Ring. Like, Dire is super tanky too. Maybe you can burst through one hero. I don't know, this game's getting very, very hard for Sparking Arrow to be able to continue on. XM with the ward. They're going to be able to catch him out. Void Spirit's got a couple TP rotations, but it just doesn't matter. Really nice ward positioning from EHOME. Just a cheeky little pick off with the Doom committed. And up top, they know Flyby's here, or they at least think Flyby's here. Can they find him though? Oh, Flyby, they're going to see him. Oh, nice little kill. Tries to get the blink away. He does not have a TP as well, so Flyby 100% stuck. He's going to try and do whatever damage he can to xNova. So where's the vision? Okay, they have a ward. I hate that so much when the ward doesn't come up. Like, I wasn't sure if Enchantress got a hawk or something, but yeah, there's a ward there somewhere. Where is it? Is it there? Anyway, it doesn't matter. What do we reckon the probability? Oh, Dial. Well, they don't have any other heroes to be able to join them. Chalice is going to be relatively careful. They're going to blade. Now it's a little bit too late. And now with the Bruce Split getting popped here, they're going to be able to continue forward. God King, he's still got September in the area with the potential of the relocate. Remember, they have this extra life as well. So with the waveform, gives him some distance. But Chalice is doing a very good job at continuing to control the Morphling. And here comes some reinforcements as well. Phoenix is coming over. They pop the BKB and God King somehow just alive with September. He gets a waveform that's going to break the tether. Now with the relocate, can he get out? No, he can't. And Dstones, he's still here as well.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But EHOME do all that with just 3 of their heroes. And meanwhile, take a look top. SCCC with the God Strength takes the tier 2 tower, the help of xNova as well. They're now farming up a couple of the tier 3 neutral items. This one is, it's looking like it's getting to the stage where it might be pretty hard to come back from. 17,000 net worth lead. As we're really seeing the impact come through from this kind of team fight lineup that EHOME have. 88% win probability to their name. As Morphling, I mean, he's still got the Aegis for another 30 seconds, but this really felt like it was an Aegis just to kind of farm. You couldn't really do anything across the map, and Dire was so aware. Like, they knew that Radiant were taking that Aegis. They scanned it earlier, but they had no care in the world. They were winning, what, back-to-back-to-back team fights before that Aegis, I believe? And our God King. I mean, Dire here, September as well, is going to try and attempt the relocate. Can they kill September before it gets off fast enough? No, just in the well. Io will actually still end up falling. I mean, he was probably going to die nonetheless. But they have absolutely no breathing room at all for Sparking Arrow. You need to somehow split push the map. Because Dire do not have very good pick off at all. I mean, it's pretty much just the Doom with that ulti. So somehow they're going to have to try and play the map just to delay this game. And maybe Morphling at the later stages. But it's a scary factor with how this game's looking. Oh, Radiant. They might be able to burst down Fate here before he's able to get the Supernova. XM's going to try and disrupt this with the Doom. Comes out. It connects on top of the Void Spirit. It's going to be careful. They're going to try and turn with the Force up. Actually goes the wrong way here. So now with the Superman, SCC straight on top of the Void. It's going to try and follow up. God King's protected with the BKB. But now off to the eastern side. Chalice with that Bruce split. He's hunting down Flyby. Who unfortunately won't have any retreat opportunities here, as that's going to be a 2-for-1. So Fate does end up falling on top of the Phoenix. But it's going to cost Radiant 2 of their heroes. You see, instantly going to try and head to top to shove this wave out. Got a couple of bounties for them to claim as well. Sccc's got Satanic. He's going Bloodthorn next as well. He's going to be able to utilize the Oblivion Staff. Even that Quarter Staff too. So he's already got a little bit of the items. We see the utilization of the Disassemble. That's Orchid now. Wow. Another way to pop the Lincolns to keep that in mind. And they even bottle up the double damage rune. He's even got the Titan Sliver, so 20% base attack damage increase.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
XM, they find him before he's able to get the strength ball off. He could be in trouble. No more stun follow-up. Sccc is a little bit too far away. They do get the relocate out once again, but it's going to cost Io his life here. Bye-bye, Io. It was nice knowing you. Who got the kill? That's Sccc. That's really the only interesting thing. You know he's going to die. Who's just going to be the one to claim it? So, again, I mean, I guess it's kind of space. Instantly, Radiant trying to split push out the map. I mean, Void Spirit hasn't been getting a lot of farm at all. I think Dstones might have to play pretty aggressive to get this Lincolns here. And then once he has it, he can play a lot more... Well, definitely once you have the Lincolns, you can play very, very aggressive to shove up the lanes as bot. Uh-oh. I mean, Dire, they're coming over. XM just cancels the outpost control, and XCJ is going to end up falling. And now they can chase more as Flyby. He's going to control. They will be able to burst down the Phoenix here, now God King. They're going up against the double damage rune on top of this Ven, so this is not going to be a fight they're able to win, as God King will be able to TP out under the cover of the BKB. But now Dstones is out of there as well. So it's a 1-for-1. The BKBs, I mean, that was what, a DD. But the BKBs are getting lower and lower. That's 8 seconds for the Morphling now. What's Flyby's on? He's on a 9 seconds. That was his 10. Take a look at Chalice. Chalice is on a 10. Doom's on 6. He just one-hit the Cree Wave. Oh, he's got so much damage. Oh, Doom, mid lane. XM, he's going to get caught out. We'll be able to find the Void Spirit. They're going to try and relocate him back to safety. What more can they find, though? God King's underneath vision. Okay, so that's Doom. Them on cooldown. Radiant, can they do something? Chalice actually going to try and pop the split just in case a fight breaks out. instantly stunning up the Eye, but Radiant there still here. They even slackline up the Beastmaster as well, so he's going to be careful with Dstones. He goes into the middle of the fight. He's got an ulti to be able to utilize, dodges out the Superman, and now they're going to try and turn with the roll. BKB's all good after this event. He's got to be careful, but they don't have this E-Blade shotgun coming through, so Gorky will have to turn away and try and retreat safely back to base, but looks like it won't matter as the sustain coming through from Eye is going to get taken away. The G's are dropped, and this has been an incredible performance from EHOME. Just their team fight execution has been through the roof. As in the end, this game's going to end 33 minutes in. That's going to be the first victory for EHOME as well for the China Pro Cup Season 2. It's taken them, 3 series now to at least get one map victory. But a beautiful victory that was indeed. There's a 33-minute thriller for them. I wonder... Well, EHOME played their lineup incredibly well with their team fights. Whenever they had them available, they would take all the team fights that they could. And I feel like Sparking Arrow with this lineup, I mean, we saw a couple of pickoffs with the IO and the Void Spirit hunting and the Beastmaster as well, but we only saw like 2. They killed Sven maybe twice, but apart from that, they didn't pick off any more heroes, and it was just a constant threat of XM was always hunting Dstones. Wherever Dstones was throughout the fight, Doom would always hold that ultimate just to be able to cancel him out. So they had to use the relocate defensively. I mean, we saw some pretty good relocate saves, but it just got to the stage where it just didn't matter. As EHOME, they were able to group up as 5 to really take away this kind of pick-off lineup that Sparking Arrow had. And unfortunately for them, I mean, it was a good start. We saw the Void Spirit kind of popping off. He was 3-0, but it just got to the stage as soon as... I love the switch off on the Doom. That was really when the game actually changed. We saw Doom go Ogre Axe, and he had like 1,500 gold in the bank, and he was going to go for the BKB, but then he switched up, recognized that they needed some form of initiation because they were really lacking that. We saw them kind of just getting ran across the map before the blink, but as soon as he got this item, like the game just started to turn. You see, instantly gets a couple of assists, and then he gets the BKB pretty fast afterwards. So it's a really nice item pick up for XM. I think that blink before the BKB actually gave them a big opportunity to be able to take engagements and not really get picked off too heavy. It allowed them to continue with these team fights and find the Void Spirit, which was a lot of their damage early. But in the end, the boys over on EHOME, they're going to be able to secure their first victory of the group stages for the China Pro Cup Season 2. We'll end up seeing if they're going to be able to also take their first series victory. But with that, we're going to have to take a short break, and we'll see if the answers will come through. As EHOME, they'll take Game 1 after a beautiful performance from them. About a 5-minute break, guys. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 right around the corner. instead. And so let's see what they want to try and pair up the Phoenix with. They've got the opportunity of the Faceless Void still if they want to just go Phoenix Void in the first phase. I mean, they don't have this Mars pairing. And I'm kind of surprised EHOME didn't go for something like a Lina or like a Snapfire or something like that, just to try and deal with that Supernova. But there we go. There's the big team fight, which we saw work out very well in game 1. It's a bit of a different draft for here for Sparking Arrow, going for the opener of the team fight. Well, last game was a Lina Beastmaster, so more kind of pick-off orientated, being able to take objectives after that as well. Now they do have this very strong potential of being able to take fights at a very quick rate. What's the answer going to be here, EHOME? They've got this last pick in the first phase. I'm glad we get to see a Fade Rubik. I always love watching Fade play the Rubik. Some of these incredibly gifted position 4 players can just shine so much. Even seeing like what FY, Crit, Yaps, or like almost like all the fours, and they're gonna Beastmaster. This is a really good pick. This is a really good pick from EHOME. You get the potential of having well, one in the laning stage. It's a lot of chip damage from the Beastmaster, so you can play very well versus the Faceless Void. And the Void is a hero who's reliant on your ulti cooldown to be able to join team fights, and because of it, how long that is, and Beastmaster doesn't have to worry about a big long cooldown for himself. He can just kind of group up, take objectives, and once you start suffocating the map for the Faceless Void, this is a hero who will need like kind of 1 or 2 more items to really have a big impact even without the chrono. So we're not going to feel that. And I do like the Enchantress ban though. That kind of really made it difficult for Flyby to have a good game on the Beastmaster, because he kind of had to go for maxing out the axes, which felt a little awkward. So they get rid of that kind of counter. Let's see if they even ban the Chen. I wonder. But are you worried about a Chen Void lane? It's not bad. We do get to see a God King Faceless Void though. You know, coming back from, he had a short stint on RNG, but now he's back over with the team that he played incredibly well with. He still has that RNG tag. I really miss the stand-in tag. Really miss the stand-in tag. It's so awesome. Like it was cool seeing that. Like 4 heroes, so 4 players on one team, say like 4 EHOME players, and then just like one dude with the stand-in tag. We haven't seen that in so long, but EHOME would like them to go for some defensive support to be able to protect someone throughout the Faceless Void chrono, and give them some kind of sustain to be able to group up and take objectives. Like they could, Venge is banned actually. Venge would have been really good. Venge would have been really nice actually. Oracle's banned out. They get rid of the Undying as well, which is so annoying throughout the fights for the Phoenix and the Void to deal with.
5 seconds remaining.
They still don't. Another thing about the Beastmaster, I highlighted why I like it versus the Void, and just the factor of against the Phoenix, you have that inner beast just to buff up your team's attack speed to be able to kind of help deal with the Supernova. Where we saw last game, Fade got honestly some incredible Supernova plays, and we've seen the past couple of days the Phoenix has been having a very good performance. They're gonna Chen themselves. I like that a lot from EHOME. There's that 5. There's a position 5 that doesn't really have the. I was more thinking of a harder save in chrono, something like a Oracle save or like a swap from Venge, but the Chen save is still really strong with that Hand of God, potential mech, and I asked for at least some aura building hero and some sustain, and that's literally what the Chen is. So still, I think it's more of a lesser save in the chrono, but it gives you very good ways to take towers. And what Sparking Arrow need now, you have to get wave clear. If you don't get wave clear, this game's going to end probably about 20 minutes. You have to get some form of ways to deal with the Beastmaster summons, ways to deal with the Chen creeps. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult game. Like Void can't, Phoenix can't really.
Radiant team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
I don't think Crystal Maiden can either. Oh, actually, no, sorry, it's not bad. What am I talking about? I think in the lane, it's not bad, but then as the game goes on, you don't deal with it. Like, Frostbite can actually lane very well versus the Chen. You just get rid of some of his creeps. The boars as well is pretty nice. But EHOME, they actually pick up a less strike here. So we saw that banned out in game 1 just to kind of identify the hero pool from Dstones, but it gets let through. We've seen a lot of priority on the less strike so far, and this is just a full kind of push lineup from EHOME where they are just going to start grouping up by these catapult timings and just walking down objectives. And Sparking going for this Crystal Maiden, I mean, we're probably going to see some form of like a spirit here or someone who's really going to utilize that mana. But I'm like, you can't Storm because I think it's way too slow, and EHOME are going to group up, so you won't be able to play Dota because you're more of a pick-off kind of hero.
Dire team ban.
Brewmaster.
Okay. Helps to deal with the summons.
Radiant team
I think
ban.
you're going to lane Brew Crystal Maiden, to be honest. I don't... no, because you do... Well, you want the Crystal Maiden versus the Beastmaster to get rid of the boars, but then you also kind of want him with the Chen. And Phoenix
Dire team ban.
doesn't have, like... I don't think Phoenix has the greatest way to set up for the Cinder Brew. It's not the worst. I'd say Crystal Maiden's a lot easier. And you see EHOME, they're honestly setting up for a Terrorblade pick. Like, if they tier B, this game's bonkers. I actually even like Wraith King. I would actually prefer Wraith King, never mind.
5 seconds.
Lifesteal, second life, so good at countering the Faceless Void. You can group up early with the team.
Radiant team ban.
So Wraith King, Terrorblade stands out. The reason why Terrorblade is because the Zeus is gone, but I do still think Sparking Arrow needs some way to kind of protect your lanes and have this wave shoving potential, and that's where Zeus kind of comes in. So maybe they're not too much thinking about the TB.
10 seconds remaining.
But they do at least protect it in case they want to go for it. They've got this ultra last pick as well from EHOME. So they can play however they want to, getting the correct matchup here. They ban the Vipe. That's actually relatively decent to be able to protect your towers. That Nether Toxin's really, really good. So what's available for Sparking Arrow, actually?
10 seconds remaining.
Quap probably gets run over because there is a lot of
5
stuns.
seconds remaining.
I actually am not sure what they can pick here as... Well, you want damage inside the Chrono. Zeus is gone. Invoker's too slow, and I don't think it... You could probably cost Wex Invoker, but I don't think it's really going to be utilized the Crystal Maiden too much. And I think that you don't have the greatest way to kill off the creeps. Lina... We'll see. We'll see what Sparking Arrow want. They are going to Lina. Okay. It's just the matchup versus the less strike mid's going to be pretty decent. You got better attack range and an easy way to secure your CS with the Dragon Slave. Very good ways to be able to deal with. All they needed was someone to be able to stop the split push, or stop the push coming out. Like, that's what you needed here for the Lina. Gives you some burst potential as well to kind of maybe take away that effect of the Chen. And they were kind of also lacking a little bit of damage inside the Chrono. Yeah, kind of a little. But now for EHOME, what do we want to see them pick up here? I mean, they're still trying to look for their SCCC hero. I still really like the Wraith King. Terrorblade's an option, but against Brew Lina, they're going to Lifestealer. Okay.
Choose your hero.
Okay, well, it's just the classic Lifestealer against the Phoenix. Very good at getting rid of the Supernova. I don't like Lifestealer versus Void, at least late game carry matchup. Void's got too many ways to deal with the BKB piercing on the Rage, but I think Lifestealer is just going to be that lane you've got no threat. Like, Lifestealer Chen is so survivable. The lanes from EHOME are really strong. Like, they're probably going to win 2 out of 3 lanes. The Beastmaster Rubik should beat the Void Crystal Maiden. And then the Lifestealer Chen, like, you are so sustainable where the kind of little chip damage from like the Phoenix and the Brew won't really matter at all. And then EHOME are just going to group up and take objectives. I'm intrigued on how the build from Lifesteal is going to be, what item he wants to go for this game. I mean, we've seen God King go for like he's gone for a Battle Fury. I don't think this will be a Battle Fury build because he'll probably try and group up with the timing when EHOME want to really feel confident at taking down these objectives. But let's see. So Sparking Arrow, I mean, right now both teams don't really have the easiest. I'd say Sparking Arrow have a better team fight with this Faceless Void and Phoenix combo. You've got the Brew, you got kind of the Crystal Maiden, I guess, if you're protected with the Chronosphere. But I think this is a perfect game against the Void. You know, at least God King has the carry matchup of Faceless Void versus Lifestealer. But the good thing is that the Lifestealer doesn't need as many items to have an impact. So we'll see how this is going to end up working here. But I honestly think EHOME, they've got the draft to be able to 2-0 this. If it goes to the later stages, I might be a little bit more worried, as I think Sparking Arrow with this team fight is going to be fine. But if Sparking Arrow don't win fights with this team fight, like I think it's going to come down to the first level 6 engagement with Dai's ultimates. If they don't kill like 2 or 3 heroes, if they don't win that fight, or if they don't win like at least the cup, yeah, no, we'll go the first fight with the ultis. If they don't win that, they'll probably lose 1 or 2 towers. And then after that, if you continue kind of maybe only getting 1 kill with this team fight lineup, then Radiant is just going to group up instantly and put pressure on objectives. So I'm worried that they don't deal with the summons from the boys over on EHOME. But you know, Radiant, they're looking to try and secure their first series victory of the group stages for the China Pro Cup Season 2. Sparking are looking to try and cement their at least a potential of a Game 3. That's what they're hoping for at the moment. Is God King walks up, gets 1 right click, and he's like, alright, I'm out of here. Didn't get the bounty. Will be a 2 for 2. We see this pretty much time and time again. Secure that off lane makes it really difficult. So they're going to see XCJ coming top. Let's see if XCJ goes Frostbite or not. Can they actually commit? I don't know if you can Frostbite. Sorry, I don't know if you can Crystal Nova and then like Time Walk onto the board to kill it. He does go Crystal Nova. Okay. Well, now Chalice can play with the ball. Or unless they... Okay, so they do heavily prioritize getting the ball. Like God King just runs out of... XCJ does as well. So this is what you have to do. The Beastmaster is a hero who just very much relies on playing with the summons in the laning stage. It gives you a lot of threat of harassment, securing your right clicks, easy amount of last hits as well. But we'll take a look at the bottom lane as xNova paired up with Sccc with the Chen and the Lifestealer. Sparking Arrow, they've got the Phoenix and the Brewmaster. This is what we saw last game played from Fade and Chalice. So just the opposites team is going to pull this one out. It had a very good game, the Brewmaster last, and even the Phoenix as well. So I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to go in this second game. We actually see Flyby as well. He's got a point in the Thunderclap early. I'd imagine this is just to try and help secure his range CS because the Phoenix is never really good at being able to do that. And then if he wants to go back to... I mean, a Spirit Vessel could be pretty good this game considering kind of the sustain that and the aura that EHOME are going to have. And we are kind of seeing like this Brewmaster go for the earned build just to get the proc of the Cinder Brew. As we take a look at the middle lane here, Lesh against the Lina. Both heroes have a pretty nice sound way to be able to secure their CS with the Lightning Storm and the Dragon Slave. Hello, top, first blood. Might come out on XCJ. As Fade's going to wrap around and with one more right click is going to be able to find the kill. Nicely done. Is even going to get a courier as well for Fade. That's a lot on it. Mango, Clarity, a set of Tangos, and an Observer Watt as well. So CM's going to come back with not a lot here for a minute. And Radiant might be able to out-pressure them with a sustain. I mean, Chalice just got Tango's Brace to stick. Fade's chilling as well with some stick charges and a couple of mangoes as well. So they actually might be able to pressure this out, knowing that they have probably a little bit extra regen to be able to utilize here. I wonder how XM wants to play. We see a lot of kind of the 2-0-2 into maxing back out the Edict, as I think you want to group up and take towers pretty early on. Dude, Dstones, LSA might connect. He doesn't have mana for Dragon Slave though. Wow. XM's got to sell, but this is a lot of pressure now, and it is going to make it a bit awkward for XM to be able to farm underneath the tower, but Dstones doesn't... He can't really get a double combo with the LSA and Dragon Slave. That's going to be required to get the kill, but XM, he's healed back up with himself, so... Very even. I mean, the only core that's suffering right now is the Faceless Void, and this is kind of to be expected against this lane matchup, but it's going to be really rough. Both Beastmaster and Rubik are incredible laning stage heroes, and you yourself on the Void is not the strongest as a laning carry, and I mean, Crystal Maiden's not the strongest laning support either. But we are going to see the rotations come through from both supports at the bottom side. Even Rubik wants to get involved here. Stun's going to connect from either team. The rune's actually up top. They might try and get the kill in September instead of committing for the rune, but he's got the dive available, and there's going to be a regen for Dstones too, so this feels really nice for the leaner. Radiant bring an extra hero to try and secure that. They don't even get a kill as well, unfortunately.
Don't burn your fingers.
So there's going to give a little bit of breathing room for the Faceless Void up top, which can now just have the Crystal Maiden kind of half zoning out Chalice. And Flyby's actually just going to cut the wave, so he doesn't want to go head-to-head against the Lifestealer, who can get to the stage of being able to kind of just out-harass you with the pure sustain, but top lane. XCJ's in trouble. They got the telekinesis to drag back. God King can't really do anything. He's just going to try and deal with the summons before he dips out of this one. And there's also a lot of harassment, though. So nicely done. That's just the second kill of the game here from EHOME. Fade doesn't have telekinesis to get it. Does he get a bash? No, Fade will find that bounty. God King is missing creeps though. Like, he misses one melee. He should be able to get back just for that, actually. What's going on here? Okay, so he misses one melee. Not too much. They're still fighting though. Dstones mid. He finds the stun. He's got the Lugana Blade as well, but XM's going to be able to pop the Fairy Fire. He still finds the kill first. Nicely done from Dstones. Turns it around. Almost in the nick of time there with that Fairy Fire pop from XM, but it just wasn't enough to give him that bonus health. So it's going to be the first kill of the game here for the boys on Dire, but you are down this net worth lead. It's a very minimal amount, so it's under 1,000. Can't even say that it's too much to worry about at all. I still want to keep an eye on what Sccc wants to go for this game. Surely he's building the Blightstone into something. Because I feel like you don't right-click the Brew, though. If it's just a one-on-one, like, if Flyby's ever under threat, he just can Drunken Brawler away. And he's doing a really good job of getting what he can. 27 last hits, meanwhile, mid. Fade's level 5, dude. I somehow see Fade just be such a high level in the early game. It's just over 6 minutes in. That's incredible. And now Chen as well. Like, Chen's a hero who can get a decent amount of levels as well, just being able to farm up the jungle. And it's so nice with the lineup you have, because the Lifestealer is a very self-sufficient laner, and they don't have any ways to go through BKB unless they have to pop the Chronosphere for that. So Sccc can always play bot pretty aggressively in this dead lane, and that means Chen can kind of farm up the jungle, get whatever he wants, and even make rotations to the enemy safe lane pretty early. And it looks like that's honestly what we're going to see from xNova. Just stacking over at the triangle. And Chalice is about to have the roar, so this is a big damage spike for him. Or a big kill potential spike, I should say. 150 damage, level 1. Yeah, I want to see this tower die pretty much right now. XCJ, bye-bye, sir. Probably don't even need the roar. The Medallion with the slows, it's just so much damage. Medallion first item on Beastmaster. Oh, feels disgusting. Yeah, we're going to see xNova come top. I really like this movement. Like, the Faceless Void is a hero who does not farm the jungle fast at all. He's also gone 3 points up in the time walk, so less chance for the time lock to at least help out, but He's going to come bot. He does almost have level 6 for the chrono. Flyby's even got his ultimate as well. So now seeing the Faceless Void in the lane, this will mean the Lifesteal is going to play a little bit more careful than what he would have previously, because they do have a way to be able to cancel off the Rage TP. But a really nice move from EHOME. This is now before the second catapult timing, so the fact that they got the T1 tower top so early, they can now use that 10-minute timing to walk mid and put pressure on top of the T1 tower. And once they get that, they might even go beforehand and just smoke up. Yeah, they're going to do so. Fade's getting wrapped on mid. They've got the ultimate from the Brewmaster, who's going to try and come over with the wraparound. Even Lifesteal is going to get involved, but the diver wave, Fade, is going to be able to keep his life. Now September, he's so deep, doesn't have the dive to disengage. He's going to end up falling. And now all of EHOME are here, but I don't think they care. Like, they'll just take the tower. And this is now before another catapult timing. Oh god, guys, this is looking really scary for Sparking Arrow. They're gonna have to do something, but they need levels for their ultis. And now that Flyby doesn't have, they've got the ward on the backline as well, so Lena's gonna get caught out with the raw. Dstones just getting punished by the vision advantage that Radiant are having. They can continue on. There's so much sustain coming through. Sccc pops out of the Beastmaster. Brewmaster will fall. Void's going to try and group up on them. XM might have dived a little bit too far, and he'll be the sacrificial lamb. God King really likes phase boots. I will also, I mean, it's a pretty good phase boots game though. Can he get the last hit? Oh, the deny, nice. It's actually a pretty good phase boots game, because there's a lot of physical damage. And you're more worried about the slows, kind of just being able to run in and run out. The extra armor is kind of nice. You do really like the treads for the being able to get the mana back from tread swapping and just tank you up as well. But there's like not a lot of burst. It's kind of just full sustain. But yeah, he's a big fan of this phase boots. I've seen him do it 2 games in a row now on the Void. And now Radiant, they've got the map control though, so they're going to be able to get both bounties up top for free. Fade's already level 6. Chen, I mean, is honestly very close to 6, so probably won't even need really that tome to hit it. And Chalice. Smoke's gonna pop. Can they get the stun? Well, the slow's there. With the help of the Crystal Maiden as well. I mean, he's got the Chen in range. Chalice is actually going to be fine thanks to the ball slow and our diet. They've gone a little bit too far. You got to be careful because xNova, he TPs up XM. And now they're just going to get chased down one after another. They need the vision on Lena to be able to cancel the TP. But unfortunately, that TP is on Kuda. Might be able to turn if he gets a vision with the Laguna Blade. But Chalice just in time. And with the Hand of God picked up, xNova hits that 6. They even stole the Laguna Blade as well from Fade. So, I mean, this game, I'd say it's probably about an 87% already that EHOME take it. I do not know what SAG are able to do this game. Both your supports don't have 6. I mean, Crystal Maiden level 6 right now wouldn't really do anything. You're going to have to somehow hope that you win a big fight with your first level 6 engagement. You know, Faceless Void's farming okay. He's actually going to go... Oh... God King really likes Midas. Void's like, if Void's not the worst Midas hero, but I don't know if it's really going to slow him down. As Sccc, they pop the chrono, but he's got the rage for a while to be able to protect him from the magical damage. Dstones doesn't have the Laguna Blade as well, but it looks like it won't matter. As the lifesteal is going to end up falling. XCJ puts a point in the ultimate at level 6 to help out. Nicely done there. A little bit of a overzealous movement coming through from Sccc. But that is now chrono on cooldown, so as soon as they respawn, Radiant going to be like, I. But he's probably just going to walk top, take that tier 2, and then get Roche afterwards. They even ping it as well, I think, on lifesteal. There's a mech on Chen. What's Rubik got? So Radiant do really have a big issue with initiating fights, but I think it's just going to get to the stage where, well, it's already at the stage where they don't really care about initiating. Like, they're just going to run down Sparking Arrow and try and tank up through the team fight. Because if they can sustain all Dire's ultimates, then they can turn afterwards. There's the Roche for free. XM's got it. The Dire do take that tier 1 tower down bot. And God King does have the Midas now coming out on the courier as well. XM's going to be so... I mean, you don't really want to feed away the Aegis. Looks like they're just kind of
is under attack.
Oh, XM, don't do it. He can take a lot of damage with yours, and they can TP it down. This is a dive that might not work. He gets the Yule Scepter up, and now with the Supernova, they're committing a lot for the kill on top of the Aegis here. XM underneath the tower. They should be able to get him, though, but what's the consequence, however, as he's somehow still alive? They didn't have the Hand of God, unfortunately. It looks like they didn't really care, because top's just getting claimed.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I mean, if they have Hand of God, I don't know. That is Aegis now down, but what? Supernova used, Bruce Split used. So do they care? Like they can... Oh, telekinesis. That stops the TP. Now you know God King's kind of... At least you'll have a better understanding of the Faces Void's movements
Dire's
across the
top
map.
tower is under attack.
We'll see what Radiant want to do. I mean, they still do get that tier 2 tower top, which is, I mean, pre 14 minutes in, so they will have very good access to the top jungle. And now they're just going to infiltrate. They know that really the only spot Sparking Arrow can kind of farm is that triangle camp. So it's going to be a very nice protection on XM. He finds the Brew. I mean, there's not really much the Phoenix is going to be able to do. Both these heroes don't have the ultimate. So XM's just going to be able to chase them down in September. TP is available if need be. Meanwhile, just space as mid lane's just getting pressured. Alright, God King's got Chrono. They're going to mass TP in, but the Chrono, it just clips onto the Chen. And do they have the damage to go through him? And he's got the mech and the Hand of God as well. Gets the mech off. Doesn't get the Hand of God off in time, however. So tier 2 tower is going to end up falling. That's Chrono used. September claims the kill, but I think Radiant, they can still posture incredibly aggressively on the high ground. Someone needs to go shove in bot. Looks like XM will probably do that. As they actually want to fight. They've got the Vision. God King, he's in trouble. The Chalice for the chain lockdown. Oh, he doesn't get the roar off fast enough. And they're diving a bit far here. You got to be careful how deep you want to go because you don't have to sustain in the Chen at the moment. So the Beastmaster's going to end up falling. Fade's going to be the next target as well as he steals the ultimate for the Crystal Maiden, but shortly lived as Dstones will cut him down with the Laguna Blade. Radiant are feeding a couple of lives away, but they do have a mass advantage in the objectives at the moment. Lena's top of the net worth too, so Dstone's actually going for a crit? Never mind. Going for the cheeky shadow. Oh, who's caught? XCJ. Well, they find the Phoenix actually top, but meanwhile, Crystal Maiden, you're in trouble.
My heart.
We're just seeing a couple of heroes just feed unnecessarily, to be honest. Some awkward positioning when you're just running to a core solo. There's unfortunately not really much you're able to do there. So, I mean, this game is on the Void if it can carry late. I like the matchup versus the Live Stealer, but I'm just still worried that Radiant have a way to deal with them. As they're just looking for the last remaining outer towers now. They're just going to continue going from lane to lane. As Sccc and Chalice showing bot. We'll probably see xNova and Fade join them, and then you can just TP up. Like, XM's playing away from the team, so he can split push out the map, and then he can have the Chen just TP him there, which is actually on cooldown. I wouldn't mind... Oh, he's got the bots. I was going to say, I wouldn't mind seeing him go Boots of Travel because he's more playing this lane shoving potential and playing away from the team, but Fade, he's in trouble here. They're going to be able to get the blink into the Laguna Blade. So just, again, the support away from all the tanky heroes, but they want to take the fight. If they can bring down the Brewmaster before the ultimate, a nice Yule Scepter controlling up the life steal. They still have the magic damage thanks to the Leshrac. And now Radiant, they're wrapping around. They get the Thunderclap slow, and now with the Penitence as well. So XCJ, you're in a world of hurt. Oh, this Arc Lightning ticking. 325. Crystal Maiden so goddamn slow. Couple more right clicks. Can they get it? They've got the yours as well to lock him into the last second. So another kill coming out, and that's going to be another tower secured as well for EHOME, as this should be all the remaining outer towers. That's also a Deso completed for the Life Stealer, so that's even going to increase their pushing potential. They see September. Poor Fade almost got in range there. Surprised he's not still posturing aggressively. Maybe he thinks there's a ward on the high ground. They won't actually get the tower. Okay. I mean, Dire do have their ultimates. And they're respawning as well. Radiant are going to leave this area, so they might lose a lot of their vision. We'll see if they get this ward. Come on, XCJ. You can do it, brother. Oh, no. He's not going to get it. He double sentryed. Don't you have the Crystal Nova to scout? I don't know why I sentryed high ground. Even just using Korra as well. Anyway. But at least he gets the D-Ward and they're going to smoke up now. They find Sccc. They drop the Chronosphere instantly. He's right next to the T1 tower if they can get the TP rotation. Can he stay alive long enough? They don't have the hand. Oh, just in time actually. And Sccc now with the haste as well is able to pick it up and turns. Trying to get the Infest on top of the Chen. They get the Roar as well, controlling up the Faceless Void. The Supernova's going to end up popping here. xNova will end up falling as Sccc actually going to pop out. It looks like they want to take the fight with XM with the wraparound. No one is dying just yet on SAG, but it looks like with the damage coming through with Lesh on the wrap, that's where the consequence comes. As Sparking Arrow attempted a nice pick-off, but the Chen heals coming out from out of nowhere with the Hand of God. Keeps him alive. XM heals. Oh, the Pork didn't go far enough. Really nicely done. I mean, that is, I guess, the nice thing about the Chen, where you have this global save potential. And his... is it lowest level in the game? Yeah, second lowest, okay. I think Flyby is ultra dead. He's got a blink, he's right. Not ultra dead, I guess. But Dai used all their ultimates, and you got to keep in mind, like, if they're trading fights for all these ultis, then it's just not worth it at all. Because you just lose map control, you've got nowhere to farm, and now Radiant will just take the engagements, as they're just going to run you down mindlessly. So the next big thing for EHOME, considering, is just the fact that you want to try and hold off and wait till this next ages. I guess you can kind of take the bottom tier too, and it looks like they are actually opting to position pretty aggressively here as xNova is going to get jumped on with TP, and XM has still got the mechanism as well. And meanwhile, Crystal Maiden's just going to fall. There's nothing they can do to sustain. If they don't burst the heroes down to start the fight, then EHOME are just going to be able to take a long, drawn-out fight. Nice roar still. And meanwhile, actually on the backline, God King is trying to find xNova. Oh, he can't juke through that tree, but he's going to time walk up. Fade should be able to cancel the P now, and looks like unfortunate for the Faceless Void. Shane locked in. They get the fall with the net into the split earth. That's 4 heroes down for Sparking Arrow, all for the Chen. And again, if you don't burst the Chen, or if you don't burst any heroes, I think Chen has to be your priority target. Like, if you don't kill that hero to start the fight, then he's got mech, then he's got Hand of God. So it's just way too much, because Dai don't have the burst is only really there from the Lina. What's the probability looking like? 86%. All cylinders clicking for EHOME, looking to try and take their first series victory of the group stages. And honestly, with how things are looking, it's going to be pretty hard to turn this one back around here for Dai. But Flyby, he gets the ultimate off. Here comes some TP rotations as well. Rated, they are kind of in the vicinity. They might be able to take the fight, but it's a nice supernova. They can dispel off the Euros straight away, but he's got another follow-up here. So stun's not going to come out, but it looks like XM's still in trouble. They've got the Hand of God, but it's not going to come through fast enough. So Leshrak's going to end up falling. Radiant, do they want to continue the fight? Flyby comes back to life. After the ultimate is going to pay the consequence, and even God King's coming up as well. Now with the Chronosphere, they've got to let it go with the Crystal Maiden, so that's enough damage to find one, make it a second as well. Really nicely done from Dai. As they have their ultimates, they find 3 kills. That's kind of the first big fight where we see them win an engagement with all their ultimates. So a 2300 gold swing. God King's even got an MKB as well. We've seen these Chen heals, like, they're being very good, but then sometimes they've just been a little bit too late as well. I mean, it's still a big lead for Radiant, but they've been playing pretty aggressively without Roche. I mean, Lena's top of the net worth. Like, Dstones has played a very good game. 6-3-5. Level 18, so just extra slice damage with the Laguna Blade, up to 800 now. Magic, the Roshan is up, and Dai do not have their ultimates, so they will not be able to contest these.
Dai are scanning.
I know what's happening, but yeah, it's just you gotta dip out. I mean,
Roshan
What's September got? He's going Shivas. Okay, so XM will pick up the Aegis once again. It's just going to be that high ground Sieger. Even Lifestealer can, but he's got the Rage to dip. Actually going to Infest bomb up Fade, who's the only person with a blink. I do want to see Chalice with a blink, and he's going for that next. But they're going to try and work their way down to bot, where they still have an outer tower to claim. God King, uh-oh, you're in trouble here as they get the initiation. Can they bring him down throughout the stun lockdown? It looks like with the clumsy net follow-up, they will be able to. He's dead for 50. Even September's in trouble as well. Dive into the TP. The bash helping out pretty drastically now. Meanwhile, mid Chalice, uh-oh, where's the help of the team? He tried to find the kill on top of Flyby, but roared the last second to stop the freezing fill, and now the Laguna Blade cuts him down, but XM's going to move forward. He's got the BKB. XCJ is going to end up dropping. Flyby as well is going to be pretty careful here. But no real way to go through the Earth Panda. But now Dire have to pop the glyph on the high ground defense. They used a lot of ultimates. Or freezing field, brew split. Then our Fade's got the initiation once again, straight on top of the Brewmaster. They've got the chain lockdown, and Flyby, he won't be able to stay alive through the damage, even though the Sunray heal is out. EHOME, they're going to try and reset. Still a tier 2 down bot. Damn, that's a lot of mangoes. Lot of mangoes. What's he going? He's going to go for the Bloodstone next. Haven't taken a look at the neutral items. We'll do that real quick as we wait. September doesn't have one. Oh, you don't like to see that. There's a couple decent. He's got the Nether Shell, I imagine, on the Courier. Okay. So it looks like finally Radiant are going to be able to take this tier 2 tower down bot. They've been trying to attempt that for a while. XM, he might be under threat here. They are coming over, and God King can set up as well. But he's going to have to pop the Chrono for the first life. They've got the hand to go potential with the TP rotations. Fade is now with the counter initiation. They're straight on top of the Faces Void here. SCC wants to try and deal with September. He's able to get the supernova off, but it looks like SCC with the Rage can deal with that instantly. Now they're going to be careful as Dire. No Chrono, no Phoenix help, and Radiant, they brought the numbers, and they're just going to chase them down one after another. I mean, popping Chrono for an Aegis trade doesn't feel worth it at all, so as soon as you find that, you just got to dip out. Rubik even buys back. They actually want to end the game. I like this buyback. He's going to get there pretty slow, but he'll get there eventually. Phoenix going to join them as well. So Bruce Split's about to be up. They might actually be able to bring down Chalice as well. They're going to be careful. Dstones doesn't have the Laguna play just yet, but now with the chain lockdown, Faces Void's going to end up falling. No buyback, and even the backline Beastmaster will still drop. They just got the Abyssal Blade picked up on the lifesteal as well, so Dstones is going to be really careful. He thinks he's protected with the BKB, but they might be able to jump down. They do! Straight on top of the Lina. They need a couple more bashes instead. Oh, Shadow Blade disjoints off that hurling boulder for the Mud Golem. Now Fade's going to be able to follow up with the Blink. They got the Sentry drops, so straight on top. No buyback available for the Lina. And Radiant will finally be able to tickle the high ground as the tier 3. That's not a tickle, that's just a... They just melt through it. Full set of racks now down. I mean, the Faces Void's up in 15, but he won't have Chrono for 70 seconds. They still have Cheese as well on Sccc. And there's not much Dire can really do at the moment without the ultimates. Another tier 3 is going to fall, and they're even just going to Infest pop up the Leshrac straight on the Brew. This is looking like a GG. There's even on the backline, God King is trying to make it work, but just has to time walk himself away. Oh, first hit back. They have the Abyssal back up. They don't. They're even going to cast the Supernova. EHOME instantly just retreating out to safety. They can go back in. They don't give a damn. God King's actually going to be careful here, Fade. Didn't want to blink up on the high ground, so there's just a second full set of racks now, and they might just go bot. Yeah, I mean, they really don't care at all. Anyone that face checks is just going to die, like CM melted. Faces Void, probably going to end up dying as well. Christomania going to try and buy back with Usept. Sets up for the Split Earth as well. They'll drop the freezing field, but it's not going to matter. It's instantly counted out with the Roar. And EHOME, this was a beautiful series for them. They'll end up taking it 2-0. That's going to be their first series victory of the group stages for the China Pro Cup Season 2. Very, very nicely done from them. That was a great victory. A great victory. They were looking a little bit rough in their earlier series. I mean, they lost against Vici Gaming and they lost against who else did they lose? They lost against LGD as well. But now they'll get a little bit of revenge, taking the series 2-0 against Sparking Arrow. And this is a flawless draft. Like the fact that you get you go Phoenix Void with your first two, and then instantly you see the Beastmaster picked up, which just completely deals with the Void, and then Sparking Arrow don't ban the Chen, EHOME ban the Enchantress. Like the draft was literally just flawless from EHOME. They made a couple of maybe overzealous plays with stepping up a bit too forward and getting picked off, but you get literally everything you want. You've got a saving support against the Faceless Void Chrono, and a hero who can also group up with sustain and utility, just some aura and push down objectives. And honestly, like the draft from EHOME probably sets them up, but in the end you've got to execute the draft, and that's what they're able to do. A very convincing victory with the push lineup, and it's going to be an early finish for them in the first series. A very nice performance as we see Sccc 13-2 on the Lifestealer. Like the item build this game. Really, really like the item build this game. The fact that we've seen a couple Battle Furies occasionally from God King, but the fact that he goes like Armlet Deso just allows him to group up and join these fights a lot earlier. Because if he goes Battle Fury, then you want to get another item after the Battle Fury. And later on, Void is going to be able to deal with the Lifestealer. So just nice itemization for the entire team from EHOME. They recognize their win condition. They hit that win condition, and they hit it in full stride as well. But with that being said, guys, that's just going to be the first series of the night. We got two more incredible series for your faces, as it's going to be PSG.LGD taking on Invictus Gaming for our second series of the night. It looks like we've already got 4 boys in the lobby, so we'll have probably about a 15-minute break until that one is underway. Get some food, get some drinks, and come back for some more China Pro Cup Season 2 Dota action.